You look at those leaders that are going to be coming today, and let's put that panel back up again. Again, what a contrast to the first term where Donald Trump was at odds constantly with whatever prime minister was in charge of UK for the week that he met them. Or Angela Merkel, you can go down the list. He had bad relations with all of them. But I think they're quite proud of their great relationship with the UK right now, especially Keir Starmer. The president does have better relations with Macron than he had the first time. Of course, Giorgia Meloni, great relations there. And surprisingly, Chancellor of Germany, Merz, they also have a very good working relationship.
Yeah, big difference between Angela Merkel and Friedrich Merz, and a big difference between Theresa May, who was there for a while with that famous handhold outside the White House, and Keir Starmer. The question, I think, for all of those Europeans is, what can they actually get? What can they get in concrete terms that ensures the long-term independence of Ukraine? Because what I'm being told is this is less about territory than it is about the future independence of the Ukrainian country. So let's bring in NBC's News Chief International Correspondent Keir Simmons live for us from London. Keir, what does this impressive gathering of European unity and show of force think that it can actually deliver for Ukraine today?
Well, I think the first ambition is to prevent another disaster in the Oval Office with President Zelensky. I think what you do by all flying in like that and kind of standing shoulder to shoulder, you make it much more difficult, first, really, for President Zelensky to get himself embroiled in that kind of a catastrophe. And also, you do make it harder, don't you, for President Trump, Vice President Vance to launch an attack like that. I mean, nothing's impossible. And this is an extraordinary day, as you guys have said. So it is possible, I guess, for there to be a spectacular falling out. That would be frightening, frankly, given the list of European leaders that are going to be ranged there in the White House. And then I think the next part of it is to, as you guys have suggested, to try to shift the Trump administration a little bit back towards the European stance, because it's clear through the weekend, isn't it? And frankly, what happened on Friday is still murky, but it is, I think we can certainly say that President Putin successfully shifted President Trump away from a red line, which was that there needed to be a ceasefire, to the idea that there could be peace negotiations while the war rages on. And even this morning, there have been more deaths in Ukraine as a result of Russian bombardment. So I think that's the next piece of it. How successful the Europeans will be in that part is a different question. And there's another thing here too, I think, which is let's just put aside the question of the ceasefire. If there is going to be a security guarantee for Ukraine, Europe is going to need to be part of it. So you're going to need to have all of those leaders there making a promise. Of course, you have to assume the US would need to be part of it. And there are, from what we do know about what's being suggested, there are very, very difficult aspects that are going to have to be swallowed by Europe, by Americans who've supported Ukraine, by Ukraine, if that is what comes to pass.
Yeah, and we shall see what happens. And of course, today is not the end. It's probably just the beginning. And if for some reason there is a deal that everybody comes up with that Putin does not support, then, of course, you will have Republicans in the United States Senate then pushing the president hard to go ahead and move forward with sanctions. I always love going to Keir because Keir gives us great reports, but he'll also kind of say, well, nothing is impossible.
Kevin Garnett said that once, I believe.
Nothing is impossible?
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. And Keir just said nothing is impossible. It's just like when he was on before giving a report talking about friends without benefits. Well, today, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Today, Mike, it seems Mr. Zelensky has friends with benefits. You've got Europe standing shoulder to shoulder going in there and basically saying to the president, who they've already promised 5% GDP for military spending, which is quite a change. You actually have an emboldened Europe going into the White House today, talking about how they can help make this happen.
You know, they're going into the White House today in a truly historic gathering. When you figure out that normal travel accommodations for a head of state, any state, to move requires weeks in the planning.
Right.
This is coming off within 48 hours.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And during those 48 hours, Putin and the Russian army have continued to kill Ukrainians, continued to drop munitions on cities in Ukraine. So the concept here is what's going to happen today at the White House. But my question to you is, from you speaking with people in Europe, people in European governments, is it more a question of what's going to happen or what they're going to try to prevent from happening today in the Oval Office?
It's a great question because, and let me answer it this way. Let's just think about what it means if what we think we might know about the proposals that were talked about over the weekend and put on the table on Friday do come to pass. So if it is the case that Ukraine is expected to withdraw from all of Donetsk, that's 200,000 Ukrainians leaving if they don't want to be ruled by Russia. That's a major military defences, Ukrainian military defences, having to up and shift and reposition. There is still a question about what other parts of eastern Ukraine the Russians might keep. So do they, in this proposal that we think we may know something about from Putin, if the Russians keep Donbass, which is Donetsk and Luhansk, what happens to the other parts of eastern Ukraine? Do the Russians withdraw, or do they just stay there along the contact line? It's not clear to me which of those two. And one of the challenges here is that we aren't being told what the proposal is. We're just hearing whispers from the Europeans who have been told. And we saw Secretary of State Rubio yesterday saying, well, we don't want to put that on the table because these are negotiations. These are fragile negotiations. But just in terms of what Ukraine would need to accept, what the West would need to accept, those security guarantees, it wasn't really clear from the interviews that Steve Witkoff, President Trump's envoy, and Marco Rubio gave over the weekend, whether what part of this is that there would be a NATO-style Article 5 security guarantee for the Ukrainians outside of NATO, but a guarantee which, as you know, means that the West would say, if any more of Ukraine is attacked, that's an attack on us too. Is the Trump administration going to sign up to that? Is Trump's MAGA base going to agree to that? Is Vice President Vance going to agree to something like that? Because just remember, an Article 5 style agreement for Ukraine means US boots on the ground at some stage if Putin comes back and attacks again. I will say one other thing, though, which I think is just worth flagging. I guess it's a counterpoint, is that a delay, if there was another attack by Russia, some years down the line, you have to assume, a delay does give the Europeans time to build their ability to support Ukraine, to build European defences. And it's clear that Europe is really signed up to that now. So there is, I think that's something of a counterpoint. Just the context of all of this, and you guys know this so well, Putin took Crimea in 2014, didn't start this latest war for 8 years. So Putin is thinking about this in a wide aperture. It's years and years. We have to assume that he will have in his tactical mind partly that if he can take by diplomacy Donbass, he can reorganize and then see whether or not there's another opportunity later.
Well, as you say, with the European countries now talking about spending 5% of their GDP on military spending after 20 years of aggression from Vladimir Putin, this at last seems to be the wake-up call that they've needed. NBC's Keir Simmons, thank you so much. And Keir brings up a great point, Caddy, and that is we can't just look at what's happened in Ukraine over the past 3 years. We have to go back to 2005, 2006, 2007, when Vladimir Putin started announcing what he fully intended to do. And his goal and what he would be giving up is what his I think, lifelong project has been, not to reconstitute the old Soviet Union, but to reconstitute the old Russian empire. And this would be the end of that. If there were security guarantees from the United States and Russia, then again, drawing the straight line from the invasion of Georgia in 2008, the invasion of Crimea in 2014, the invasion of Ukraine in 2014, then again, the next invasion of Ukraine, that would effectively, if those security guarantees were strong enough, that would effectively end that lifelong project for Putin. We shall see, though.
Yeah, which is why there's a certain amount of skepticism about whether Vladimir Putin really is prepared to sign up to anything that would end that lifelong project. Why wouldn't he just wait a few more years and come and try again, given this is something that he has wanted for so long? It's why Marco Rubio back in 2022 was so scathing about Vladimir Putin and said you can't trust the guy because he has these longer-term ambitions.